Welcome to Frax Check, your weekly Frax vibe check. I am your host, Capital K, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, DeFi Dave, and our producer extraordinaire, Sam. We'll be going straight to the source of truth via checking the chain, but before jumping in, please subscribe to the Flywheel Pod. We finally got our first comma past that 1,000 subscriber mark. And also, please follow us at Flywheelpod on Twitter and join our Telegram at Flywheelpod. This week, I'm speechless.
Is it a good week or bad week?
Warning.
Warning. I don't.
Ahead.
I already saw this coming.
I call this week it's not about getting knocked down, but about how you pick yourself back up week. And you'll see what I mean. Let's begin with our regular programming, the peg check. We had the peg as high as $1 and as low as 0.998. Peg check strong. We then head over to Curve Finance and swapped 100 million of Frax into USDC and got an exchange rate of 0.999. Curve swap strong. Okay, teasing you guys in here with the good stuff first. Here, our collateralization percent hit a new all-time high at 93.3%. And just a reminder, this percent conveys how much FrxETH is algorithmic part of the collateral. So it's saying only 6.7% of the collateral is in FrxETH. So the market is clearly signaling risk. With the market kind of bumping like it is, I'm very surprised to see the collateral being up and we're hitting a new all-time high. Not great. Following, we have the decent percent. We saw an ATL last week, but luckily we bounced up by 2.3% this week to 14.5. So, pretty much, we're not on the low, but still VVVVV much bear market vibes across the board when it comes to these two metrics. Remember, we want to see the collateral percent at around the low 80s, and we want to see the decentralized percent at the 30s, okay? That's where we want them. So we have a long way ahead of us to get back there. Moving on, we have a quick summary here about the peg. We're really good. Curve swap, really good. Collateral percent could be better. Decent percent could be better. Now, let's jump into the AMO holdings. We have a grand total of 610 mil across all of the AMOs. This was a decrease of nearly 8.5%, or rather 8.4% in this week's AMO holdings. And the majority of it comes from the massive decrease in Curve AMO, losing about $50 million worth of liquidity. I am not sure where it exactly went, but if this is foreshadowing of stablecoin TVL going down because people are aping into risk assets, maybe bull market return, maybe resume up only. And, I'll leave it there, and some of you chain sleuths can come and tell me where all that liquidity went. In the other three AMOs, nothing has changed. So that's where we are today at 610 million across all of the four AMOs. Let's take a look at profitability. Now, we are at $2 million in revenue for the month of October. Currently, we're at a loss of about, $500K for the month. But luckily, we don't have to pay Vodium bribes for another week, so we're going to get to rake in some dough for the rest of October. Happy Halloween. This is definitely a treat, not a trick. Steady, lads. Deploying treats.
Treats.
Now, quick summary.
A treat.
I know. Quick summary on the money check. We have $610 million in AMO holdings. This represented an 8% down week over week. And we're currently in the loss for the profitability. But like I said, in the next Frax check, expect a positive number. Now, here's my favorite section of the week. This is my liquidity check, right, guys? But my fellow Fraximalists, my brethren and sisterin, to use the wise words of Aristotle, we down horrendous.
Down horrendous.
86%.
Yo, what happened? Yo, what happened?
The wise words of Aristotle. We down horrendous. I have no idea what had happened. I checked this morning and I saw this number and I was like, it's a scam. This is a scam. But no, I checked the chain and it is truth. We are 86% of the 3 pool.
Yeah, can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Do you guys think like Frax Baseball would have more adoption by now? Or do you think this is what you would expect? Adoption, like if it's like the new like my thinking is if it's the new meta pool and Frax has all these incentives lined up for it, then why aren't stablecoins lining up to pair with Frax Base Pool? Is it an awareness thing? Is it like do they like want to be paired with Tether and DAI? Like what? Why isn't Frax Base Pool like I mean it's like it has adoption, but it's like why hasn't it like catapulted past 3 pool to become the new meta pool?
I'm gonna go awareness, right? And the reason for that is I was reading the main chat today, and they were talking about a different project called like XAI.
Silo and their stablecoin.
Yeah, so like they're posting pictures in the Silo chat, and they're like, yeah, we'd be open to Frax Base Pool, but we just don't know if about the gauge or about other stuff. And then, Sam clarified like, oh, hey, we'd love to have them pair with us on the base pool. We'd love to have them get a gauge for Frax Share rewards. So I'm going to come at it as like a brand awareness, business development side of it, because it's all it is.
This smells like a job for the Flywheel squad. How to base pool, we'll show you how to base pool.
We'll show you how to base pool.
Yeah. We'll show you how to base pool. And
I wonder how much volume USDC has on chain compared to Tether and DAI. Like, is it significantly more? Because like I always say that Tether is the stablecoin of centralized exchanges, but maybe there's like a lot of exchanging going on chain as well. I don't know.
I mean, Frax is going to have to break the exchange. Like we're going to have to get listed in exchanges at some point. I mean, because I don't think Frax is listed in any centralized exchange at the moment. And I think most of that comes down to there's no market. Frax doesn't have a market maker, if you want Frax, you just have to come and get it and then use it. It's not like we're with like Terra Luna where you had like 3 Arrows Capital and like Jump and, like all these different big multi-billion-dollar market makers like incentivized to go off and create liquidity with the UST pair.
Yeah,
we saw that how that ended up though.
But not too fast, right? Slow and steady, and then all at once.
I think this is like we have a really nice niche with Curve, but at some point, I mean, this is what Jack talked about. Like, there's going to have to be a time where Frax like grows out of the Curve ecosystem. Like, we're going to have to figure out how to get significant traction on Uniswap as well too, and centralized exchanges. And once we do that, I think the supply is up only at that point.
Yeah, I think Sam's correct. But let's get back to the check. And I know we held on for so many weeks, and the floor just suddenly opened beneath us, and we just fell in. But I will not leave us here. Come on. Let's muster up our courage and relish in the challenge, because the Frax base pool is at 678 million still, guys. There's still 678 million in this damn base pool. So we have hope. Do not dwindle. We are here, okay? And the Frax base pool is getting a little bit tighter to the Frax 3CRV pool. It used to be 30% larger. Now it's only 20% larger. But regardless, tune in next week for the revenge tour. Maybe. As I said, I would not leave us below in the pit of the dark abyss. Let's now rejoice with the meta pools. Reminder, the meta pools are pools that are paired with the base pool, example like LUSD and Frax BP. The meta pool just hit a new all-time high of $80.9 million. That is nearly a 20% increase week over week. So, Dave, we are getting adoption.
We are getting adoption.
This is also adoption, right?
No, this is clearly adoption.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is product market fit on the graph. So, you guys
it's by the numbers.
It's by the numbers. And we literally just flew past 70 mil and just broke into 80 mil, just like, bye, Felicia. So that's awesome.
That's interesting, though, that, like, it went down compared to the 3 pool, but it has, like, gone up in adoption. Like, you can argue that the meta pool number is more important than it compared to the 3 pool. You know what would be also a good stat to have on here? Like, for adoption, maybe volume, like seeing all the volume of, like, the meta pools, like total volume.
Yeah, I could pull that. I just know not a lot of stablecoin trades have been happening. So, but we'll be objective. We'll pull that anyways, just to show people that we are keeping it real. But
keeping it real.
Back to what you guys talked about earlier, being awareness. Let's see if we can keep this meta pool growth going. Any projects out there at all? If you're looking to be partnered with the base pool, join our Flywheelpod Telegram at Flywheelpod, or DM any of the hosts here for assistance, and we'll teach you how to base pool. Okay, come join. Also, one quick note on this: we have a TVL of 9.6 million of non-stable pairs against the meta pools. These are the pairs like CVX, FXS, and base pool, or CVX, CRV, Frax base pool. And adding all of the assets being paired against the meta pool, we are at 90.5 million. Okay, guys, $90.5 million is being paired against the Frax base pool across stable and non-stable assets. That is pretty fucking awesome. I can't wait for us to hit that, 9-figure number. And
talk about product market fit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think this is one thing that like Curve could really work on, right? Or maybe that's something that like we can work on. Is I don't think people know that you can have non-stable pairs on Curve. Like you think non-stable pairs, you think, okay, I'll go to Uniswap, right? But look at the numbers. There's $10 million worth of non-stable pairs on Curve right now. So
is there? Yes, you're absolutely right. It's totally there, and we should make a better job of kind of advertising that. So again, let me plug in at Flywheelpod Telegram. Join us there and drop a note to any of the hosts here, and we'll get you connected and get you plugged in. All right, moving on. Summary time. We have a TVL of 678 million. I'm not even going to mention the percent of 3 pool because it's embarrassing. Jumping straight to the meta pool, we have a TVL of 80 million for stables and a total TVL paired with the base pool at 90 million. Okay? These are great figures for product market fit and adoption. But remember, guys, the reason why we do all of this is to track that one number. And that one number is the Frax supply. And we want that as high as possible. Sam and Dave, do you remember the warning that I had given at the beginning of the Frax Check?
Yeah, down horrendous.
Yes. Pain ahead, and pain is here. We are down 10% in the Frax supply. Ow. We went from 1.36 billion down to 1.21 billion. Moment of silence.
Pain.
And that's the reason why we do this, is to make sure this number goes up. So got to be paying attention to the numbers, checking the health. But tune in next week for the revenge tour. Now, let's pass it out to DeFi Dave to dive into the governance roundup.
Next week, next month, next year, up only will come again. Nature is cyclical. That's all I got to say. All right. GovCheck, FIP, one. We have a few governance proposals, and we're also going to go over some action in Curve governance as well. FIP 119, which was authored by yours truly, Samuel McCullough, to create a Gearbox AMO. This was Gearbox was having a liquidity mining program. Sam was wise enough to write an AMO proposal to authorize up to 10 million Frax for the liquidity mining event, but I believe that happened on the 24th, and I'm not sure if that's still going on.
It's still going.
Still going.
Still going.
I guess we can just Sam, give your 1 minute case for the FIP 119.
Yeah, sure. Can you? Are we still?
Yes.
You want to kill the share screen?
Done.
All right. So, the way the Gearbox is pretty cool, right? So Gearbox allows for composable leverage between whitelisted DeFi applications. So Gearbox essentially allows you to place collateral and then get leverage on it, and then use that leverage that you have in DeFi. So Gearbox takes votes. So kind of similar to how our AMO system works. Like their token holders vote for which DeFi applications and contracts they want to allow the people to connect to. And then once you have that, once the Curve contract has been authorized or Aave, you can borrow from the Gearbox pools and then deposit that money into Aave or deposit that money into Curve and trade it as if you're if it's your money on leverage, right? It's borrowed credit, but you're only able to use it within specific whitelisted DeFi protocols. So it's really cool. It's going to change a lot of stuff, and I think it could be very big. So there's a liquidity mining event. It's going to go on for quite a while, but it offers a good opportunity for Frax to get a foot in the door, which I think we need to do. I mean, we've been having these conversations in the chat as well too about should Frax use its AMO power to go off and acquire Wi-Fi or some of the other protocols that exist on different chains once Frax ferries up. And I think the answer is yes. The more tokens that we can acquire from different protocols, especially ones that have the potential to be successful, gives Frax. I mean, if we're going to be the central bank of DeFi for the foreseeable future, then we have to have a stake in these protocols. And so so it's going to be really interesting. The cool thing is that by placing AMO funds there, I think we can earn 13 or 15% on our stablecoins. And then if we have any ETH or WBTC as well too, we can place that there. And I think Gearbox is going to be integrating Frax and FrxETH and Fraxland into their composable leverage system later on. So there's definitely more that's going to be happening, but right now it's just the passive liquidity mining.
Cool. Yeah. I feel like that's something that definitely should be considered, in my opinion. Doesn't hurt. If anything, lots of gain, especially can we just liquidity mine for a bit and then take our Frax out?
Yeah, sure. I mean, look, the Frax, it'll be USDC and DAI that's deposited right now. So,
so it'd be like an investor AMO.
Yeah, it'd be or like a lending. I think it's a lending AMO. Is what it'll be captured under. Yeah. So essentially, it's taking treasury assets and then deploying it into Gearbox so that other people can use it, and then we get paid a yield for that.
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like Gearbox, hits a lot of check marks, and it's been around for a while. It's audited. The team is more than capable. I really like the Lobster DAO guys. This seems pretty cool and something that should definitely be considered. And we'll see what happens there. Next up, we have FIP 120, which is deploy stake CVX FrxETH ETH curve gauge into Frax. And so people are like, okay, what the hell is stake? Blah 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 blah. This is basically the staked convex of FrxETH and ETH in one token, and it's what this proposes, and which was proposed by Sam Kazemian, is to stake basically the convex curve gauge into Frax to get FXS emissions. And what makes this significant, it's the first time an FXS gauge has been used for a non-Frax pair. Every FXS gauge has been used to facilitate and promote Frax liquidity. This is the first one for just FrxETH only. I think this is a worthy exception. And if especially coming from, the man himself, So, yeah, I
Dave,
expect this one to.
Could you quickly explain what that is?
What?
Like what LP token is that? Is it FrxETH and ETH?
It's the so to break it down, you have FrxETH, and you have FrxETH ETH curve gauge coming soon, and so then you have FrxETH ETH curve LP, and you can stake that LP token into Convex. So FrxETH, then FrxETH ETH, put it into an LP pair like a cake, bake it, you get an LP token. And then you stake that LP token into Convex, and then you stake that staked Convex token into Frax.
Okay, I understood.
So it's just it's a ton of rewards on that one.
Yeah, it's basically just an emissions machine.
Emissions machine.
Machine. I like.
It's an emissions machine. It's like, oh, do I want to go into as FrxETH, or do I want to go into Frax ETH staked, I wonder if there's a way to make this shit easier to understand. It's like you stake it. Like, I feel like we should have like easier words.
Yeah, but you can go into. I'm pretty sure you can go into like Zapper or something else and like do the entire transaction in one go.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll get obfuscated at some point. I think the main thing is that like we're finally getting some non-Frax pairs added to the gauge. That's really cool. And
I didn't know
could
that.
be pretty big.
Yeah. I think this is the only like Frax related in like the Frax ecosystem of products will be ones that get gauges. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens with like when FPIS and VEFPIS goes live, and like what other stuff they can do there.
So the Frax base pool right now is not getting FXS rewards, only CRV and CVX rewards, right?
No,
they get FXS.
Yeah, there's a convex wrapped staked Frax base pool LP token that you can add into Convex and then deposit into a locker.
Oh snap!
To earn emissions, yeah.
Cool. All right. Next up, we have FIP 121, Fraxland ammo for the FPI pair. This was authored by the Frax core team and authorizes up to 5 million Frax to be minted into the Frax FPI pair. All these proposals have gone up like within a week. There's nothing on Snapshot right now. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, like standard, gauge proposals, AMO proposals. These are the pulses that keep Frax governance going. The more gauges, the merrier. On curve governance, we've had a few different things happen right now. One, we have the this was posted yesterday, 2 days ago. The deploy try crypto pool of WBTC, WETH, and Frax BP. This was authored by Crypto Hunts. He's from the Alphaverse DeFi Fund, and it's basically to create a new try crypto pool with WBTC, WETH, and Frax BP. This makes sense. There is a try crypto pool already, so it makes sense for there to be another one with Frax BP.
Yeah, it's just the next
step.
Right?
Yeah,
next step. That's a really great pool, actually. Like, you could just put all your money into Try Crypto 3 and with Frax Base Pool and be like very happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's actually a great like hedge. It's a great bag to hold. Is the Try Crypto
I might
pool.
Like, other than my Frax shares bag, which is like insanely large compared to everything else in my portfolio, I might. If I had to recommend or anything to someone, I'd probably just put them in this Try Crypto pool. Like,
not financial advice.
Not financial advice. But I might do that for myself. Where like going forward, you think about you just drop it in the Try Crypto pool and then you lock it up for like a year, and you're in those sweet FXS. So you go to the convex wrapped Try Crypto 3 Frax base pool into the Frax locker to earn both convex curve and then FXS on top of your ETH and BTC, right? That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, that does sound cool. And I'm hopeful that passes. Speaking of things that did pass, we have there is a vote to lower the basis points of the Frax baseball fees from 4 basis points to 1 basis point, which did pass this month. So that's actually quite significant, honestly. That makes Frax baseball that much more attractive for stablecoins and non-stablecoins to pair to. Mm-hmm. Next up, we have the ad gauge for RSR and Frax BP. I actually met the Reserve guys in New York last month, and also I saw them down at DevCon. They built a really cool stablecoin product where it basically allows people to create their own stablecoins with their own collateral, and basically all these different types of stablecoins could be paired with Frax BP. So I actually see the collaboration with Reserve Protocol here as something, quite fruitful, potentially fruitful in the future. This was proposed on October 7th. I believe this did get passed.
I think so.
This did get passed.
Yeah.
But I think Reserve Protocol could be another stable ally in the time to come. Mm-hmm. And then next up, we have the gauge vote for FrxETH. It is at 100%, guys. It is at 26 million something to 827. This is it is past quorum. This is past. 2 days left. In a week from now, we will be reaping the FrxETH rewards. Like the true fly will be in full effect. Mm-hmm. Like I've been hyping this up for way too long. But it seems like to be finally coming to fruition.
So coming back to the stuff that we were talking about, the meta pools, right? For anybody that's watching, like if you're a part of another community, another crypto community that would be interested in pairing, speak to the founders, speak to the team or the DAO or whomever, and then reach out. We want to work with you to find these new areas of partnership to try to get Frax Base Pool even bigger. Honestly, Curve can take non-stable pairs. It doesn't just have to be stable pairs. And there's a ton of stuff that we can do on the Frax side, like giving gauges or highlighting it in Flywheelpod or in the Frax chat. So just reach out. The best thing you can do is just reach out and see if we can figure out how to get some pairing going.
Yeah. Honestly, the more gauges, the merrier. This is what Frax wants to do. They want to have as many gauges as possible, and this is the best first step you can take in partnering with Frax with bigger things in the future. So let's say you want an AMO in the future. The best first step you can take is to apply and get a gauge.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And on that note, it's been a gut check. Frax Check week. We have to go through it. You can't have your highs without your lows, your ups without your downs. But we're still here. We're coming back every week. And if you want to come back, and you should come back, and you need to be reminded to come back on YouTube, hit that bell button, subscribe. Over 1K subscribers. Let's go. Follow us on Twitter at Flywheelpod. Follow us. Join our Telegram group. Join us at Flywheelpod. Follow me on Twitter at DeFi Dave 22.
Follow me at 0x_K.
And I'm at traders_insight. And don't forget to go check out the Haim video from this week. It's fire.
Yeah.
Check. He just
Haim.
spits.
He spits hot fire.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Haim
guys.
went
We'll
ham.
see you. Haim went ham.
Yeah.
And on that note, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.